Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. Okay, so today's video is a band called Autarkh. I don't know how to pronounce it. Why do people pick random names? And it's a name, it's a band name, Autarkh. That's going to make you check it out, ain't it, Andy?
Depends what it means in the language from the country they originate from. That might.
Well, we'll find out. The band, this sort of one we're going to check on is a song called Refocus. Autarkh are known for hard wiring extreme metal with glitchy electronica and IDM beats. But this is the lead single from their new album. They're a Dutch band.
Yeah. I interviewed them last year. They're called in 2021. They're called Autarkh. I've even got the T-shirt.
Autarkh.
I fucking love this band.
Autarkh. There you go.
Autarkh,
this is the fifth track on their new album, Emergent. It revolves around the will to return to the serene state of mind that opens the album. Right, well, let's go check it out, I guess.
I'm looking forward to this.
Probably the best thing we can do. Let's do it. So that was Autarkh, or how?
Autarkh.
Autarkh. There we go.
Autarkh.
Autarkh. Yeah, it's all you. It's your all talk. That's what I'm
All
saying.
talk.
All talk. He's all talking, isn't he? He's yeah. Right. So, yeah, Andy, over to you.
Interesting song from a band who are trying to be a little bit more original, but a bit different from what's out there. It's not my usual kind of style, I must admit, but it's definitely a band that I could get into. But I think you need to give them music like this. I need to give a lot more time and focus on to appreciate fully what they're doing. But
Yeah.
I on first impressions, I that came across really good. I think the vocalist, I don't know if you two agree, sort of had three different delivery styles throughout the song. And I liked the first, which were kind of effect laden. I think that came across sort of almost sort of sci-fi, sort of futuristic and industrial sort of a delivery approach to the vocals. And then after that, he seemed, when it was sort of more sort of clean vocal delivery, he seemed to be struggling and almost at the very top of his range. It almost sounded like his voice was going to break. I didn't particularly like that. And then there was the sort of chilled mid section, which I thought was really interesting. It reminded me of two of our local bands, The Grey and Estranger. That's what came to mind when I saw that, or was listening to that particular section of the song. And then the third part was another vocal delivery style and more aggression, and I like that as well. The video looked really good. They're using sort of retro equipment in the background, and sort of the amplifiers and the speakers they were using had that sort of old school vibe, sort of 70s, but then sort of futuristic, if that makes sense. Sort of the early days of computing sort of sprung to mind with the sort of equipment they had in the background. But yeah, good to see something a little bit more original, a bit different from what we usually come across on the channel and the usual sort of stuff I listen to. So good stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to do what I did last time on the last video, which is get my negative or things that I wasn't a big fan of from it. So for the video, like the video, but I got bored after a while. It's just moving left and right kind of across this room of them playing, which is fine for a while, but I did start to get a bit bored. And I think for a 5-minute, 40-second song, they needed to throw something else to help with whatever it is, the story they're trying to get across. Would have been beneficial, or maybe some more movement around the equipment, or just something else to break the video up. And the other one is, it looks like 4 random guys just walked in and grabbed some instruments on a live jam stage. One of them, the singer, looks like he was working on a building site and just turned up in his jumper and shacky bottoms and picked up the guitar. Seriously, guys, sort your shit out. Look better. I mean, come on, put a bit of effort into your appearance. Fucking hell. So, I mean, it's true. I mean, look, they don't look like a band. They look like 4 random blokes that just started playing instruments at the same time together. I know it's all meant to be about the music and everything, but at least I want to be visually interested.
Imagine what we all pick up. I mean, I couldn't tell you what they were wearing, and I certainly didn't realise, pick up the fact they were completely different, and one of them looked like he's off the
building site. Yeah, just like, I was looking at it going, there's no continuity in the look. There's not. I just didn't get it. Anyway, that's a minor point. Anyway, weirdly, I actually quite enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it, but I can't tell you why I really enjoyed it. I have no freaking clue what stylization or anything about it. It sounds to me like if Fear Factory and Devin Townsend had a love child, this is what it would sound like, in my opinion. With Devin Townsend's kind of crazy vocals up there, but the Fear Factory Burton C. Bell vocal, and you kind of smash that together, and you have some weird prog thing going off in one direction, but you have some Fear Factory guitar elements going in there. And I enjoyed it. I don't know if I could listen to a whole album of this, though. That would be my only thing. Is I enjoyed it. I liked the intensity. I liked the intensity of it for that 5 minutes 40 seconds, and I liked it. Was different to what I would normally listen to. I don't know if it's ever going to convince me that it's the sort of thing I could listen to on a regular basis, but for a change, it was kind of cool to listen to. And I actually liked, I agree with Andy. He's going up to the right end, top end of his vocals, but that's a hell of a journey he went there to get there. He's still got a very high, that was a lot of ranges he went through, which some of our vocalists that we know couldn't hit. So I was very impressed that he could go from that lower register and get all the way up there without actually breaking a lot earlier. So I was impressed by that. Kirk.
I should start by saying I'm a big fan of this band. So I bought their debut album in 2021, Form in Motion, and it was in our top 10 for Scream Rush Repeat albums of the year. And I interviewed the vocalist Michel Nienhuis in May 2021. So when you said it's Autarkh, I've been saving this for when the album comes out. So I'm absolutely delighted to have heard this in advance. To me, you're right. How do you describe this band? There is certainly originality in what they're trying to do. I think they'd already got to an advanced level of understanding what it is on the first album, and then they've developed it further on this one. For example, did you hear those melodic backing harmonies from the guitar player? You didn't have anything like that in the first album. So believe it or not, this band's origins are in the avant-garde black metal band Dodecahedron. I think that's how you pronounce it. You don't hear any black metal in that. What I hear is Gojira and Godflesh. I certainly understand the Devin Townsend comparison as well. But you've also got Neurosis in there. So you've got post-metal, industrial metal, and then whatever Gojira have become now, post-death metal, groove metal.
Yeah.
It's not... Did you notice they don't have a drummer as well?
Yeah.
All the percussion and the beats were coming from a sample, weren't they? From an emulator. And he's an important part of that band, the guy you can see operating that. You can hear heavy bass in there. Now, the guitar riffs, Andy, they're almost like playing Doom riffs, but it does not sound like Doom metal, does it?
Yeah.
That's what's so unique about it. And like you said there, they've almost gone for a retrofit. It looks like the early days of mass computing. Yet somehow it looks like it's in the future as well. And that's a good description. You've described visually how I think you can describe them musically. You can hear origins to this band and their influences, but the grinder that they put it through is just impossible to really understand on first listen. Because I remember listening to the first album and thinking, okay, it's like a glitchy Meshuggah meets Godflesh type sound. And clearly that song is not that anymore, is it? The vocals... Do you know what? In this type of music, the imperfections of voice just add even more weight and emotion to the music. So if that was a metalcore band, a mainstream metalcore band, and the singer was trying to reach those high parts of his register and failing, you'd be like, oh, this is shit. Music like that, which is raw, and it's all just about the primal emotions you're feeling, you just don't mind it, do you, if it goes out of key? Because it kind of suits what they're trying to do anyway. I'd need to listen to that 2 or 3 times to understand it. And there wasn't anything rhythmically complicated in it either. It's just like when you first hear Cult of Luna or New Refocus, these bands who we call post-metal. At first you're just thinking, okay, it's just doom metal. Then when you listen to it after 3 or 4 times, you think, what are they doing here? This is unusual. And I would say Autarkh are one of those bands. So really excited about the sophomore album. I've heard one song just now, and that's already put me in the frame of mind to think, is this going to be an album of the year contender? Of course, it's only one song, but yeah, I love this band, really interesting, and I support what they're trying to do. And I think they know what they're trying to do. It's unusual when something's original and it already has a clear grasp of where it needs to go. So thrilled. Another great band from Season of Mist, I would say.
Okay, well, if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.